and welcome to Colin's Time to Bake, Baking with the Bake Off. It's my final week before the actual final, and this week I've made Savarin from Patisserie Week. It looks delicious, I'm so excited, so let's see how I got on. True to form, this recipe is the same as used in the Bake Off and the link is below. It's from the BBC website, so you can use it too. Each week for 9 weeks I've been making the technical challenge, so don't forget to click below. There's some links of my previous weeks. I've been doing this for 3 years now. What? And while you're at it, I do enjoy a good thumbs up and appreciate those who do subscribe. Hi guys, thanks for subscribing. It's very kind of you to join me every single week. Okay, let's get started. Take your flour, sugar and yeast and pop into a bowl and stir this together. Mix the salt and milk. No, wait. Mix the salt, milk and eggs separately. Okay. Great start, Colin. Let's pretend I didn't do that. So you mix your milk, salt and eggs in together and then you'll pour this into your dry mixture. So let's just pretend that's what I did. Now using a wooden spoon, mix this in by hand. I know that Andrew in the kitchen from Twitter would love this technical challenge right now because he's been baking along as well, minus any electrical equipment. So this would be your challenge. My arm got so tired doing this. I switched to electric beaters, but then it started to climb up them like a creepy space blob. Lesson learned, just keep using a wooden spoon. Now this next part's quite important. Dice up your butter into small cubes, and I mean this. The smaller the better. Make sure it's super soft as well, so don't take it straight out of the fridge. Make sure you've left it to get a little soft out of the fridge, because otherwise when you're stirring it by hand, you're going to be just there for years, basically trying to make sure it's all combined. So once you've diced this up very small, pop your butter in and beat it like Michael Jackson sings. Beat it! Once it has become like elastic and smooth, fold in your lemon zest and orange zest and, well, my folding's gotten a little bit better. Cover the bowl in cling film and leave to rise for 1 hour. In the meantime, it's time to make your syrup. So pop your sugar in a pan, cut up your lemon that you took the zest off a second ago and squeeze the juice in. Add 150 milliliters of water and bring this all to a lovely simmer until the sugar has dissolved. Take it off the heat and add in your orange liqueur. The more the better. Well, actually no, 100 milliliters. Now leave this to cool. I'm getting flashbacks from the margarine again, you just have to cool everything. To make your fancy chocolate disc, you'll need to temper your chocolate. This does not mean anger it slightly, no. It means melt to a specific temperature and then cool it to a specific temperature and it should be shining. I think. I have provided a link below to how to do this without a thermometer in case you don't have one. So basically melt 3/4 of your plain chocolate in a double boiler until it reaches 50 degrees and then take off the heat and add the remaining chocolate and stir this until it's melted in. Then make sure it's 31 degrees, I know, specific, and then put this into a piping bag. You need to do this all in one go. Get some greaseproof and with your chocolate in your piping bag, pipe a 5cm oval. Feel free to make some other shapes and things because you'll have some chocolate left over. I made some stars and various other things. Now you want to melt your white chocolate, just however you wish, there's no fancy way for this, and pop this into another piping bag and write the word Savarin onto your disc. I had to check this like about 4 or 5 times before I started writing and also tried to do joined up writing, which made me realise that I can't do joined up writing, and well, you know, now use the rest of the white chocolate just to add to your fancy decorations and leave this all to set on the side. Again, leaving to cool. Now it's time to make your caramel shards. All you need to do is melt your sugar with 4 tablespoons of water and boil this until it reaches a nice brown colour. If you have a sugar thermometer, if you're lucky enough to have one, it should be 170 degrees, but you can go by the colour, which should be a nice brown colour. Should take about 4 or 5 minutes. Pour this onto a baking tray lined with parchment or silicone and spread this out and leave it to cool completely. It should be rock hard and shatter like glass when you break it, so it's glass but edible glass, which is nice. By now the batter should have risen and you'll need to grease a 23cm butt tin and you'll need to grease a 23cm bundt tin, or if you have one because you're fancy, a Savarin mould. Spoon your mixture into the tin, oil up some cling film and cover. Leave this to rise for another 45 minutes or until it's 3/4 of the way up the tin. Now do your dishes. Once the dishes are done, preheat your oven to 180 degrees and once the batter has risen completely again, take the cling film off and pop this into the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. Take it out of the oven and leave to cool for about 5 to 10 minutes. Once you can pick it up by your hands, you'll want to tip the Savarin out of the tin onto a wire rack and then tip it back up. Now pour half the syrup into the tin. This is your orange syrup that you made before. Now do this next bit carefully, and I really mean this because I've dropped so many cakes. So pick up your Savarin carefully, flip it back round and put it back into your bundt tin or mould. Now you'll want to take a roasting tray, pour the rest of the syrup into the roasting tray and take your bundt tin with Savarin and syrup and flip this upside down and leave it so it all steeps in there. So basically the whole thing is syrup from top to bottom. It's all soaking in, basically like a sponge with wonderful orange syrup. Leave this until it's completely soaked in, or as some like to say, moist.
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 While this is soaking in, it's time to make your chantilly cream, which is a great name. If you ever have to name your children chantilly cream, go for it. It's fairly straightforward. Whip your cream, icing sugar and vanilla bean paste together until you get soft peaks, and spoon about a third of this into your piping bag with a star-shaped nozzle. Pop that into the fridge until you're ready to use it. Now you want to take the orange that you had de-zested for the batter, and you'll want to cut the outside off, making sure you've got rid of all the flesh, and slice into segments, or just break into the segments that oranges normally come in. Let's go back to the caramel, which should be solid by now, and break this into shards using your hands. Again, it is light glass, so please be careful you don't get any shards in your finger. If you do, lick them off. Once you feel that the Savarin has been soaking enough, it's time to transfer it to your serving plate or cake stand. Now prepare to decorate. Use your piping bag of cream and pipe a design around the top edge of the Savarin, and then place your orange segments on a nice decorative way, again however you fancy. I've done this in a kind of fake clock. Then you'll want to take the rest of your cream and dollop this into the middle, smoothing it around so you've got a nice base for your fruit. Pop the fruit around. I forgot to buy fruit, so I thawed some of the frozen ones that I normally put into a smoothie and decorated with that, which is why it's mostly cherries and strawberries. Finally, add your chocolate disc and other decorative bits on, such as the caramel shards, which should look really cool. And ta-da! Your Savarin! It's time for the taste test. Everything's fallen off, but oh well. Wow. That's really good. So you have it, Savarin, the last technical before the final of the bake-off, and I have made it. My 9 weeks is up. I have done it. If you want to look over my other weeks, have a look below. The links are provided up there, down there, all over the place. And there's also my website where you can go on and see what I've been up to on other weeks. If you subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. If you don't, why not? Go for it. It's free. You can see some of my other stuff that way, which is really cool. Prepare for Halloween next week, which might be a bit spooky. My name is Colin. This is Colin's Time to Bake. I have been baking with the Bake Off. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Button.
Moist.